Hello, and welcome to Carrie Sperry All Social Y'all podcast. I'm your host, Carrie Sperry. On All Social Y'all, we discuss how to employ social to become truly customer-centric. We identify how social is a fuel for business growth, and we talk with some of the best and brightest business leaders, entrepreneurs, and digital marketers. Our guests share inspiring stories and effective tactics to discover, interact, and emotionally connect with customers where they are on social platforms. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to All Social Y'all. This is episode 12. 13. This is episode 13.
Lucky 13.
Lucky
Right.
13 in the series of decor and tablescapes, having events and unique parties for your company, for your family, for your mixed events. And we have back here Mia Salmieri and Susan Gerber, who are going to say a word in just a moment. I wanted to let you know a little bit about what's coming in this episode, in continuation of the last episode where we kind of introduced for you how to get these unique parties going, getting out of your comfort zone and having memorable events. We have designed here, these two ladies have put together a amazing tablescape and desserts for you to give examples of how you can create these yourselves or lend help to have help to do these things for you. So Mia and Susan, can you say a couple words about you and your background, how you got into this?
Sure. Hi, y'all. Thanks for having me again, Carrie. Today we tried to focus on a Valentine's Day tablescape. My background is in tablescapes, party planning, fundraising galas, whether it's from sports to private parties, school galas, and everything in between. And that's basically the short of it. Really excited to be here and kind of show you some of the ways that we come up with our ideas today.
And I am Susan Gerber. Thank you, Carrie, again for having me back. I am interior decorator I do design with a passion for party planning and event planning. And today we're going to give you some tips on different ideas of how to put it all together.
Thank you, ladies. So we have a big treat coming here. We're going to first cover the tablescape. And in the episode before this one, I just wanted to mention we had featured an amazing cake that was made by a company locally here called Savvy Cakes, Savvyy. And so in the first segment of this, we're going to go through the decor of the theme and all the layering that goes on, extending the tablescape to the rest of the room and the venue in its entirety. And then we're going to cover the desserts. So thanks for being here. So what we see here is something called a tablescape, which is unbelievably amazing and beautiful for Valentine's Day. It could be used for other occasions as well, but can you guys tell us how did you come up with this and kind of break it down for us?
So for the tablescape, we love to think of it as layers. So we like to start, obviously, from the bottom up. And with that, my favorite is luxurious fabrics. So I always prefer like a sheer on the bottom. If your table can accommodate that, like a white table in this case. So we just did like a white sheer. And then we then layered with sort of an iridescent rose gold. And it doesn't even have to be something that is a tablecloth. It could be just a piece of fabric that you have laying around that you can just sort of twirl or scrunch. And
Yeah, it's not laying exactly flat.
right, it's not ironed. It has texture to it. I think the light is picking it up really pretty. The candles are picking it up. And it's just like laying pretty, like hanging over the sides, right?
Yes. Yeah. I agree.
So there's natural elements. This is real, or
This is real eucalyptus.
Greenery.
And so we made this eucalyptus garland last night, just with floral wire. And we just trimmed the ends and we clustered them together. And then we assembled this to twine and layered it, Susan and I. And
so it's not just for Christmas.
no, I mean, then tonight, like we were able to just put in these really beautiful, beautiful vintage roses that are sort of ombre peach looking. And we
So
just
pretty.
had them in water for several days, lots of floral food to make them open. And then we snipped them and then just pretty much tucked them in right before the podcast.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
So another element that you can think of. So we're taking Valentine's as this theme for this particular tablescape. And what we decided to do, just to think outside the box a bit, you don't have to just do red and pink and white. It's that you can see we did rose gold, but we tied it in with the red and the gold and the pinks and the background you can see. So you don't always have to just stick to totally traditional colors. It's kind of nice to go a little bit outside the box. and make it-
Surprise element, like we
Surprise
talked
element,
about
yes.
last time.
Still looks very romantic, very pretty. It's a little softer touch, a little softer tone, and
It's gorgeous.
And it's kind of
So
hanging
pretty.
off the side,
Yeah.
all the way
Take it over,
down. I don't
yeah.
know if you can see that from
Yes.
the camera.
Yes, the camera should come over and show
and show the sides.
the
yeah,
sides of the.
Just very romantic.
We'll show you guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get the angle in
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah, because we're gonna go into some other decor elements for you here for sure. So, what are some other tablescapes ideas you guys have done, or ones that you've thought of before? Can you kind of give us some other examples?
For Valentine's, you mean?
Not necessarily for
Just other-
Valentine's. Any tablescape.
Other events
that-
and stuff.
Yeah, other events that you've done.
Well, you know, traditionally you see flowers in a vase or flowers in multiple vases or flowers low in square vases or one low, you know, very long rectangular vase and like single stems. Like there's just endless, you know, opportunities. I think flowers are such a beautiful element. They're live, they're beautiful. You know, sometimes if you know where to get them, you know, you can get them less expensive. And if you get them ahead of time, they can really open and just be the beauty of the table with your linens and your candles. And sometimes they don't just have to be in a vase. They can be, you know, like we have in the garland or above
Flower
you.
balls.
Or above you.
We'll elaborate on that in a minute. But
Right.
I like what you said earlier, Carrie, about how you have a green garland, really, all this greenery, and so it's not just for Christmas. You can use this. You can incorporate it into any event or party that you're throwing, and just throwing in your accent flowers, different pops of color. What your choice is.
I love it. And I'm going to throw in something. What about for more masculine events? Let's say it's a bachelor thing, or like a all guys poker night, or just a more masculine brand.
I mean, I would throw in like those elk, you know, horns, you know.
Oh yeah, I have one of those.
You know,
Yeah.
I would put those in there.
Or just branches, even just dried
Right.
branches.
Like pine
Yeah.
cones.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, there you go.
Yes.
There's the elk.
Yes.
Yeah. You could, yes.
Yes.
And if you're
These
having
are
a poker
gorgeous.
night, then you could put chips around it or cards or whatever.
Right.
For
Like that could
tie it all
actually
in.
like hold, you know, maybe your poker napkins or, you know,
Yeah.
like that could actually hold an element of your guys' night in there, you know, depending on how you wrapped what the element was. Or, you know, maybe like a couple beer cans or something.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
Cluster it, so.
but I mean, they're just some masculine
Yes.
brands. Like their customers are mostly men, and they might want to appeal in some,
Sure.
you know, in a way maybe not quite this
Not as
vibe.
feminine.
Right, right.
I get it. Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah.
all right. That makes a lot of sense, and it's so inspiring. Okay, wow, these hanging balls over the table and the tablescape are amazing. Can you tell us some about those? If they're real, they're beautiful colors.
Yes, these are real. So for this tablescape that we decided to do the flower balls in the Valentine colors, so it incorporates very well with what we have on the table. And if whatever choice flowers you can use, but we recommend carnations or roses. They're best to use for these foam flower balls because they have the sturdiest stems, so they won't fall out. They'll stay in there. And you can go bigger or smaller. You can hang them at different heights. It depends how many you want, how big of a space you have that you're trying to decorate. We just did 2, for example, and you can go as big as you want or as small as you want. It's up to you. But we
They're
think
gorgeous.
it adds an amazing element to the whole, ties it in from the above to below.
Yes, and I love the multicolor, but you could do the solid or,
Yep.
like you said, a different color ribbon, different heights. Just
Yep,
beautiful.
absolutely. Depends what your theme is for the night.
Cool. Okay, and these table settings are amazing as well, with incorporating some pink, some gold. Mia, can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so what's so unique about these is that if you look at them, you think that it's marble, gold metal, and pink glass. Well, if you take them apart, you can see that this actually is plastic. It is not gold metal. And this is actually a charger that is made out of paper. And so you can see our whole layering effect is so like pleasing to the eye. It's affordable. This plate is glass, but the layering I think just adds just such an elegant element to the table, and with the candlelight and just all the flowers. Um, and of course, I love the butterfly with the matching bottle. And of course, this is real cutlery. It's just so beautiful. So you don't have to have all the elements of glass and steel or glass and metal per se. You can just mix it up, is my point.
Love it. And we're going to get into the cookies and the desserts in a little bit, but how they were placed on there just as another surprise element and inviting, making your guests feel so special and something like they've never experienced before is what I love about it.
Yes.
These cookies are amazing. They're the theme and so unique and I'm sure they taste good too. There's some other beautiful desserts and decor going on here, tying in with the theme. Can you walk us through this amazing table here?
Well, with it being Valentine's and Valentine's, obviously bouquets of flowers are very popular at this time of year. We thought maybe bouquets of flower cupcakes would be a big hit. So these are strawberry and chocolate cupcakes with bouquet of flower icing on top. These are champagne jelly beans and champagne flavored gummies, like just like little things like that are fun. And honey, I got champagne gummies for you later. So then this is just a heart floral arrangement, which is super fun. Just floral foam on the bottom, moss and some roses in the shape of a heart. And more flowers, and then Susan did these awesome takeaways.
Yes, so another element you can add to your party for your guests. You want them always to remember that they had a wonderful experience. So it's always nice to send them home with a little takeaway. And whatever you decide that to be, you can go across the board with it. But we just came up with a few little examples. Very simple, little bag, little ribbon, baby's breath,
Aw.
and inside is some macaroons. And you can find these wherever. I mean, it's just, yeah. And you can put any treat you want in there, incorporate it with the theme of your party. So with Valentine's, we decided to do macaroons.
They're also called parting gifts, right?
Parting gifts, yep.
Yeah,
Parting gifts.
love that. That's so nice. And
Another
there's another
example
one.
is a mug with the theme of Valentine, with your little Starbucks gift card in there, coffee, and a little biscotti. So
It's nice.
just cute little fun. So you can describe the next two.
Okay. So, depending on your audience or how many employees you may have, if you just want to do something really nice, just to say thank you, but you don't have a big budget, these are from Michael's, these little boxes, and they're just filled with pearl white bubblegum balls. And just something little you could leave on their desk that says thank you.
Nice.
There's a to and a from on the back. And then the second example are just cute little red, who doesn't love a red heart, filled with little conversation hearts.
Very affordable and very traditional.
This is my favorite candy at Valentine's Day. So this is just another very inexpensive example, something you could do. So those are our
Very
four little takeaways.
And that little plastic
simple.
container looks like it can be reusable, like hung from, a dashboard in your car or
yes,
something like that.
We actually sprayed these gold for the macaroons.
They're little trays for the
and
macaroons in
made
there.
them into little trays.
What? That's amazing.
So, if you're on a budget, it's just a little bit of paint, a little bit of spray,
Multi-use.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the macaroons we were able to get at Costco. Costco is a great resource for very
Flowers.
Yeah, flowers,
Two
very
macaroons.
shishi desserts. That looks
Who
like
would
you went to
think?
the French bakery. The carnations for the flower balls we got there. So, note to
Nice.
self. Costco.
Yeah. Thank you for
Hashtag
that tip.
Costco.
Most
Shop at
people just
Costco.
think,
I get no money for saying Costco, but just so you know.
most people think toilet paper and paper towel
And
to go
bottled
to
water,
Costco and
right?
and bottled water, but
Yeah.
no, there are things that you can buy very affordably for a small, medium, or large party. One more thing I wanted to ask about on this table is this bowl that you have here with the hearts in there. Like that's just an extra punch. And you were telling me how you spruce that up to your own liking, Mia, right?
It was an urn just laying around the house that I spray painted yesterday gold when I spray painted those gold hearts.
Wow.
And just threw those little Michael's, #Michael's store, and threw those in there. And yeah, it just popped the back of the table, I thought. So
Hobby Lobby is another great resource.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby and Joann's.
Nice.
For
Hobby Lobby.
Any crafts. I know.
Yay. Love it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this lighting, you have the votives on the table are just gorgeous. Can you give us some lighting ideas that you think we should keep in mind when planning our tablescape?
Yes, we find that lighting, candles, always very important part of your whole ambience, your whole dinner party that you want to, the whole feeling that you want to put out there. You want to keep it soft lighting, candles. You want to keep lower if you're having a seated dinner. If you don't want to do them higher up because you don't want them in the eye vision if you're talking to someone across the table from you. As you can see, we did the flower balls above, and we kept this all very low on the bottom because we are trying to say this is what it would look like for a seated dinner. You can do as many as you want or as little as you want. These are live, real candles, and real flame, not battery operated. So one thing you always want to keep in mind for a safety element is do not have them near any sort of real live flowers or greenery because they will light on fire. And you always have to make sure you have a little bit of a safety distance.
Good point. Yes, I'm always so careful with live flames.
Real candles, yes.
Speaking of live flames, down here below, I see you have non-live flames, but they're just so gorgeous down there. I would never think to put the big, artificial flames that look so pretty in different sizes underneath. Can you tell us about why you did that and instances when it would be a creative way to integrate that little bit of surprise with lighting?
Yes, of course. So in this instance, it's a table for two. So it's not a table for 6. So for a table for 2, this would be acceptable. Maybe spread out a little bit. It's battery operated, so there's no chance of a fire hazard. And just with the illusion of the sheer, it's very romantic, especially to walk in like a dimly lit room. It's beautiful and it's flickering. Maybe if you were having like a larger dinner party and it was buffet style, you could still do the sheer and do a big table and have those underneath because no one's sitting at the table. If you're having a large dinner party and everyone's seated, probably not a great idea because those are going to be kicked over or people are going to
Stupid.
kick them, play soccer under the table. So, but I love the idea of battery operated candles because you can use them throughout the year. They're indoor, outdoor. You can use them for multiple holidays. You can use them for Christmas. You can use them for Halloween. You can put them like outside by your front porch, by your pool, walking in your front door. I mean, there's just so many uses. So they're like one of my faves.
And different shapes too, right?
Yes,
Like I've
different
got the
heights,
lantern
sizes,
ones out on my
Yes.
front porch that I've carried into the New Year, and then the Valentine's Day. So they're white, so
You can get them shimmery. You can get them blinged out. You can get them in different colors. You can get them. The ones that like are multicolored are really fun, especially for like kids' birthday parties or like 4th of July. But those are definitely one of my favorite elements in parties
Yeah.
that are
Candles,
unexpected.
yes.
Very important. Yes.
And you
Yes.
can keep them. Just put new batteries in and use them again and again.
Yes.
So it's great. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I just wanted to wrap with a little bit about carrying in to something that we talked about in the last episode, which is integrating your social media hashtags into your theme and remembering to do that, and also letting you realize through seeing these visuals, and if you're just listening on the audio portion on the podcast, hopefully we've described enough that you can kind of see what we're talking about, at least mostly. And if not, check out our video on our allsocialyall.com website where you can view the video. But it makes your visuals so much richer and more interesting. And you not only can have quick clips of video around your event before, during, and after, but also photography goes a really long way. Just look how beautiful these little things are. And it helps the guests that were invited that can't make it enjoy, as well as those that maybe weren't relevant to the event, but care about your brand, either as a prospect or as a customer. They can really see that you really go above and beyond and make memorable experiences to grow your brand. So thank you so much. We really enjoyed Mia, Susan. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
This is just great. Everyone, we would like to know, Susan, myself, and Mia would all like to know, what do you want next? This is an event planning series. And so do you want to hear more about tablescapes? Do you want to hear more about special decor? It could be anything. What do you want to learn more about? We're thinking of having a pop-up live event where we incorporate more of our community around hosting events and bringing you in and doing an episode like that. So let us know. Comment on Instagram at allsocialyall or Facebook at allsocialyall, or DM me. So thank you so much. Thanks for listening to the All Social Y'all podcast. For free resources and materials, head over to allsocialyall.com. That's allsocialyall.com. Also, we'd love to hear from you. What subject areas would you like to hear about in future episodes? You can share that with us by dropping me a comment on our website or in Instagram at allsocialyall.